We welcome you to this edition of USL League One action at Werner Park in Papillion, Nebraska for a matchup between Union Omaha and North Carolina FC. Spencer Siegel here with you. Happy to bring you along through this one. Let's take a look at the complicated League One standings. Pretty simple for our game, fortunately. Omaha have clinched a playoff spot. They can clinch a first-round bye, meaning one of the top two seeds, with a win tonight. North Carolina has been eliminated, but the rest of their games, they are here to play spoiler, as they did earlier this week in their most recent win. So it's easy for us to figure it out. All the other teams, they can figure everything else out themselves. We know what we're looking for tonight. Last time these two teams met, beginning of September, it was all Omaha and mostly all Damia Villader. This is what he was able to do. That's really how he gets most of his action. Cutting up that left seam, got to score one from the spot as well. A late goal made it 3. Omaha running away with this one. The 3-0 victory over North Carolina, and now we can show you why Damia Villader was the September Player of the Month. He had those couple of goals, also scored in a few others. That was a beautiful assist that he had here at home. Villader, at least for my money, one of the best players, if not the best, in League One, especially from that left back position. On the other side, there's a lot of different pieces for North Carolina to work through. Now, Peter Pearson is one of those players. He's not in the starting 11 tonight, but he was able to score his first goal earlier this week against Tucson. Again, North Carolina playing spoiler, and it's players like Pearson who step up in these circumstances to make North Carolina the team to potentially get others out of this beautiful playoff race. We've got a lot more coming. Kickoff is coming. You're going to keep it right here, Omaha, North Carolina, and it's coming up next.
I'm actually the first person in my whole entire family, teenagers, adults, kids, grandparents, that's gotten my bachelor's degree. It was 16 hours to Missouri, and then we picked up my dad and my brother, and then it was another 5 hours here. I didn't get a walk for high school. Everyone else gets that opportunity, so when it came to this, I was like, I don't care how far it is away.
Tonight, we would like to welcome our Centris Federal Credit Union Ball Kids. If you want to be a Centris Ball Kid at the next Union Omaha match, visit unionomaha.com/community to sign up. Thank you to Nebraska State Soccer for helping us select the Centris Ball Kids. We would like to thank these awesome restaurants in the Omaha Metro for providing team meals to our players during the 2021 season. Chick-fil-A Bellevue, Vitality Bowls, Papio Pit Barbecue, The Corner Kick, Epoca Cantina, and Beacon Hills. We appreciate your support and team meals during our 2021 season. Kickoff not too far away here at Werner Park, Omaha, North Carolina. Getting ready. Let's get you the lineups tonight. We will start with the home side, and it's not much different than what you would expect. 4-4-2 has been the theme for Omaha. Greg Hurst up top with Evan Conway. They'll play in tandem as strikers. You do see Toby Otieno moving down to that right back position. Of course, Viadere at the left back. Malono Sumanu up the middle. For North Carolina, a few changes coming, including Pearson out of the 11, as we mentioned. He's actually out of the 18 altogether. It is still Aziel Jackson up top. Pekka will drop back into that central defense role. And you see the back line of Flores, Fisher, Mbai, and Flick to try and hold down what is a potent Omaha offense. Their attack has proven to be fairly difficult to deal with this year. Just moments away from kick. Jay Mims has talked this side up this season, and he's talked about building this club from scratch in their second year. His vision has come to life, and they have a shot to be the number 1 seed heading into the playoffs. Of course, a top 2 seed means a bye. It will be Omaha in the black and North Carolina in their white jerseys with the gold trim tonight. Underway from Werner Park. We can expect this game to be played very much in the attacking thirds. And it starts out that way as Devin Boyce tries to slither inside. Omaha entering play tonight. They are in first. 12 wins is the most in League One right now. They've got just a few games remaining. Boyce looking for Hurst, cleared by Nelson Flores. Otieno fights to win it back, and Boyce will skate out of trouble. You can see it does get crowded in the midfield here. JP Skiers linking up with Emir Ali Hadjic. Skiers has shifted to the right now. Looking for Boyce. He's flicked in Otieno. Has he stayed on side? Otieno's cross takes a deflection off of Conway's chest, and it's in. 90 seconds in. Omaha strike first. They are well on their way to guaranteeing a bye in the first round of the USL League One playoffs. I was surprised that Otieno was deemed to be onside, but making that run down the right side, there you go. It does look like he was played on. I think it was Mbai who was about even with him. Otieno scores, rather Conway scores on the assist from Otieno. And Omaha are off and running. Omaha takes care of it early. They make it a spectacle for the fans as well. Jackson does well. Aziel Jackson works his way into the box. There's Villader defensively to do his work. And he tries to outlet Hurst, or rather Conway, and did fairly well.
Get on! Come on, come on! Come on, go ahead! Where is he?
First touch for Rashid Nuhu. There was a shove that time in the back by Flores. Boyce and Skiers will resume play. Recycled by the North Carolina defense, and they have yet to really establish any rhythm on the ball to this point. It's hard to do on this pitch. Sent wide looking for Boyce. He's been found. Here comes Devin Boyce with a step over. He'll lay it off. It skims into the grateful arms, though, of the goalkeeper McGuire.
Thorn, hey! Higher! Thorn! Back him here! Higher! Back him here!
Jake McGuire has a tough task tonight. Brought forward by Flick. Sent wide to Flores. Now Pekka. Nelson Martinez linking up with Flick. He'll look for one over the top, and it bounces comfortably to Nuhu. It's been a strange season for North Carolina, to say the least. They really had to battle through the adversity of this league. It doesn't matter what league you come from. New leagues present challenges, mainly because familiarity levels are low. That's what we've seen this year from North Carolina, a team who had lost 4 in a row prior to their win on Wednesday night. Flick, Martinez. Conway flicks it forward. Hurst couldn't catch up to it. Back at the feet of Pekka. This is what happens at times, especially this year for North Carolina. You find yourself getting comfortable and into the game, but unfortunately for them, you look at the scoreboard and there's a tally already on the board.
Wider, wider.
Pekka lost it, but keeps possession. I mean, it does need to be said, despite their struggles this season, because they started the season with 6 losses in their first 7 games. They only took a point from their first 7. They do have some impressive wins on their resume this year, so when they put it together, it can look like it's intended to look.
Next one, Nelly. Come to Max.
Flick coming forward, met by Skiers, got tripped up, and it is a free kick for North Carolina, who opt to go quickly. It's framed towards the byline, who touched it last. Goal kick. Goal frame, Wake Forest product. done that time. Rising high was Britton Fisher to meet it, and North Carolina can come away with it. Pekka plays back. Slipped forward looking for Jackson, who muscles his way onto the ball. Malone does well to fight and win it back, though. Frame surging forward. Jackson, frame, and out comes Nuhu. Well done. Boyce just got crunched. Let's see if the referee opts to take out a card here. It's very early in the game, but it was a fairly reckless tackle. Nabil Ben Salah out to check on him. Devin Boyce says he's all right, and I don't believe a card is going to be shown. It looks like just a warning. Missed the chance from frame. It was half a second late. Nuhu had to come off of his line to ensure safety.
Devin, be quick, check him back in, okay? This time his head, be quick, check him back in. It's quick. Let me know as soon as he's ready. Let's go. Come on, guys, keep going, Mike. Come on.
Boyce might be looked at because of a potential head injury. He did take a shot sort of to the upper body and face, but it looks like he's all right. He's playing. Did see a hand slip in there that time from Daniel Steedman. Hurst gets to it. Boyce is behind him. Here's Devin Boyce, slips it in. Greg Hurst got it wrong. He had 8 yards of goal to aim at, and he missed every one of them. That is very uncharacteristic for a man who scored so many goals this year in this league. Nuhu with some sweet feet. Here is Hurst again. Flips it over the top for Boyce. What a pass that is. Boyce keeps it alive. Links up with Conway. It's sent wide for Ali Hadjic. Guarded by Flick. Via Dare in a spot he's very comfortable. Boyce. This is good movement from Omaha. Ball takes a fortuitous bounce to Via Dare, who goes down, and the referee will have none of it.
Squeeze up, come on!
Out wide, Otieno, the man who assisted the first goal. Similar spot, back post this time, headed on, and Ali Hadjic couldn't keep it down. Well worked by Omaha, and they've continued to apply pressure. This time, though, the North Carolina defense bends, doesn't break. Flag goes up on Omaha this time. I'm sure that's a moment that Greg Hurst would like to have back. He's probably too far out at this point to be in contention, realistic contention for the Golden Boot in League One. Still a chance, an outside chance, I'd say. Here's Frame. Watched by Otieno. Frame clips it in. It's sent away by Malone. Tracked down in the corner by Thorne Simpson, who loses possession out to Villader. Hurst is at 11 goals. He and Marco Micheletto entering tonight. Marios Lomas at 13, but Emiliano Terzaghi, former Golden Boot winner in this league, he's got 15. Jackson will fire, and Nuhu had to be alert to it. It looks like it took a deflection on the way, and it will be a North Carolina corner. ACL Jackson shot that one out of a cannon. Yeah, you can see the deflection off of the Omaha back line. Corner is sent in. It's a good ball, and it's in. North Carolina get one back. Nuhu confounded. A perfect ball flicked in by Mbai. So Malik Mbai ties this game. We are back to square one. And the goal conceded by North Carolina just seconds into tonight's game does not keep them down. Mbai scores. Jackson on the assist, who was the one that set up the corner in the first place with his rocket. And you at home can strap in. Enjoy this one. We're in for a good one tonight. Otieno from the right back position. Like Otieno may have gotten clipped for a moment, not enough for a foul. Here comes Frame down the left-hand side. Jackson is to his right. Searches for him. Nuhu tried to release Ali Hadjic. Skiers just trying to see it to safety. Here's Steedman. His right-footed cross picked out by Osumanu, and Ali Hadjic can't keep it in play. The beauty of the tightened League One standings this year, even at the top for those top two seeds, it magnifies the importance of every game down the stretch, and it makes games like this, a game which is on paper between a first and last place team, just as competitive as the other three games tonight. Hurst to his feet. Boyce, he's got some room. Back to Hurst. Here's Hurst. His cross picked out by Conway, who scores. It's raining goals at Werner Park, and the third belongs to Omaha. Hurst has been the main man scoring goals this year, but a fortunate deflection put it right on Conway's head, who was in the right place at the right time. And he headed it with conviction. 2-1 to the home side. So Conway's already got 2 tonight. That gives him about an hour and 10 minutes to find number 3. It's always how it works, doesn't it? You get 2 and immediately you start thinking about one more. Excellent response from a team looking to seal up a first-round bye tonight. Otieno scoots away from frame. Tried to find Ali Hadjic. It's probably the easiest piece of analysis at this point in a game like this, but it does need to be said. The next goal in this game is likely the most crucial one because North Carolina came back after that early concession. They got their equalizer. Omaha responds, and they have a 2-1 lead. If Omaha get a third, it's going to be very difficult for this North Carolina team to come back on the road. But if it's North Carolina on the other end, they'll have belief. Judging by the first 20 minutes, it's not if, but when. Simpson stuck his toe in. The argument coming from the sideline is that he got the ball. It's Doyle who's down. It did warrant a second look, I think, but foul is coming the other way. It's a 50-50 call, I think, at best. You at home can make your own judgments. Hurst gave it away. And down goes another Omaha player. It's Flick and Ali Hadjic who collide. This is another dangerous spot. You would think it's Damia Villader crossing territory. This one looked a little more clear-cut. Although incidental, Flick did come from behind. These are the types of balls from this position we've seen all season. Damia Villader puts this on a platter for any of those black jerseys in the box to attack. Devin Boyce is the right-footed help man to Villader's left. It'll be Boyce. That's a shot, and it wasn't too far off. Omaha get the corner. McGuire forced into action. I'm not sure if it was goal-bound. Did have to be dealt with, though. And Union Omaha keep up the pressure. It's Boyce again. Towards the back post, there was nobody there to greet it. Simpson wanted to see it out of play. Villader couldn't keep it in. Hurst has been slipped in. He's got more work to do. Hurst heads towards that byline. Stays in play. Ali Hadjic on the other end. Now Villader. Certainly don't want to let him get any service. It's quality defending from North Carolina that time. But a peach of a ball out towards Otieno, who couldn't do much with it. However, Boyce's hustle leads to a throw for Union Omaha.
Get back over!
Doyle's cross is another perfect plattered goal. There's number 3. It's taken no more than 25 minutes. And despite conceding an equalizer, Omaha lead 3-1. This time, Amir Ali Hadjic is on the other end of the rainbow. Poor defending, it has to be said, from North Carolina. Fisher looks like he had misread the trajectory of that one. Couldn't get his head to it. And Ali Hadjic, all he had to do was really just get a tap to the ball. It was headed into that bottom corner. How many are we to see tonight? We have 4. Not even halfway through this one. Can't possibly keep this pace up, can we?
Organize behind it!
Response is required from North Carolina. Flores gives it away.
Back down, Greg. We need you there. We need your help there, Greg. We need your help there.
Flores has framed to his left. Pekka probing. Jackson, heavy touch. Taken away by Ali Hadjic, who sees Conway. Hurst is making his run. If Conway gets his head up, he'll see him. Here's the cross. Hurst comes near post, and it's blocked well in the end by Fisher. Good transition defending from North Carolina. Nelson Martinez. Fisher switches out wide for Flores.
Don't worry about these two, just deal with that, we'll come off him.
Now frame.
That's the one, Greg. Don't worry
Martinez.
about these two.
Over the top. Has Simpson stayed onside? No. This is why we love games at Werner Park. This is what you can get when Werner Park showcases its best. It's just non-stop end to end, like this. Frame, couldn't get to it. Bounced at an awkward height for him. Otieno's second effort is successful. Hurst drops it back for Boyce, who seems to keep that ball on a string, but he's dispossessed this time. Flores looking, finding Steedman. Out wide frame. Looked like Flores was just barely onside. His left-footed curling cross found the head of Simpson. Skier sees it out. And Ali Hadjic takes no chances. 4-1 Omaha back on October 6th against Fort Lauderdale. And other high-scoring affairs in this series. It was 3-0 at Wake Med Soccer Park on the road for Omaha at the beginning of September, as we mentioned. It was a 4-2 against New England Revolution 2 back in June at this park.
This is the one we win. This is the one. That's the one.
Skiers pilfers that one. Here comes Boyce. Hurst got a touch to it, but couldn't direct it accordingly. 30 minutes in, Omaha struck first just 2 minutes into this one. It was Conway who scored on an assist from Otieno. North Carolina, though, they maintained their poise and got the goal back at the 15-minute mark. Hard to believe that was 15 minutes ago. 2 Omaha goals since then. Conway again, and then Ali Hadjic. Conway couldn't win it back. Now Flores seeking out Jackson, who was shunned aside by Malone. And Otieno keeps it alive. Have to say, for as much as Greg Hurst enjoys scoring goals, I think he'll feel hard done by that Conway goal, the second one, where he provided the cross. It did take a deflection off of a North Carolina defender, but Hurst didn't get the assist. I mean, the deflection was slight, and it certainly helped find Conway's head, but the cross set it up. Ali Hadjic comes forward. Here's Conway. He's on his hat trick if he can score. Not too far away. He knows it. Otieno misplaces that pass. Steedman links up with Jackson. Wide to frame. Back for Jackson. Low ball in, dealt with by Malone. Boyce corrals it. Conway tried to turn, he just slipped. Now Flores looking for Jackson. Malone again. Conway redirects it to Boyce. How about that for a touch? Boyce returns the favor. Here's Conway. Was ushered down a cul-de-sac, but it's kept alive. Pekka's clearance results in an Omaha corner. As a neutral, you don't want this half to end. Let's play the full 90 without a break the way these two are going. Here's Villader, the former Barca Academy man. Left-footed cross, cleared away. Jackson looking for frame, ran into the brick wall of Ilalo Sumanu.
Keep going, come on. Come on, give yourself a chance, Ed. Give yourself a chance.
Otieno, look how much space there is for the two strikers of Omaha, and that was Skiers too. That's not even Hurst or Conway. That's Frame, who is slightly shaken. Simpson now, he'll surge forward. Asking a lot of Jackson, who does get to it, and he makes the turn, down he goes. It's a foul on the edge of the penalty area. Now that's questionable too, because it looked like that foul made its way into the penalty area. There's the hold, certainly on its way in, and you're allowed to continue into the penalty area. It can be a foul, and in turn a penalty, and that's why you see 3 white jerseys circling the referee at the moment, because that could have been given as a PK, and I don't think there would have been much argument about it. It is ultimately a subjective decision, and it's still a dangerous set piece for North Carolina, but I think they'd want more.
Devin! Easy, Dev, easy! Hey, watch your step on the floor!
All will be right in the world from North Carolina's perspective if they can make something of this. It's not a corner kick, so you can still be offside in a white jersey. A lot of bodies in that 6-yard box. It's low, and indeed the flag goes up, offside.
Next one, come on.
Jackson collides with Doyle.
It's right in front of you. It's a foul. Look at my player. Look at him. Look at him. Look at my
Here comes
player.
Hurst.
It's a foul. It's a foul. Everybody in the stadium knows it's a foul. It's the simplest ball. Like that. Just protect my player. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Okay.
You can hear John Bradford asking for a little bit of protection, as Jackson did go down during that challenge. So frustration is certainly liable to set in at this point in the half. Not quite a full slate in League One tonight. One game missing from the schedule. That comes tomorrow. Fort Lauderdale, North Texas, but there are 5 games ongoing, 4 of which are happening at the moment. All of them with playoff implications. Skiers found Ali Hadjic. Play on, says the referee. Over the top, Frame won't get to it. Otieno can. Boyce, wow, what a touch. He's been outstanding again tonight. But it is North Carolina who win it back. Steedman. Martinez. Flick. They're 5 minutes into the second half between Richmond and forward Madison. A Richmond own goal has knotted the game at 2. That's a game that forward Madison really needs if they want to remain in this playoff race. Another white jersey goes down. This time the foul is given. Otieno checks on frame. And it appears there's another injured player off in the distance. That's Flick. And you can see him grabbing at that hamstring, and that's never a good sign. There's a lot of frustration on his face right now. It's the one muscle that is nearly impossible to play through. You hope he's all right, but Peter Pearson already has just about everything ready to go. That would be certainly a strategic substitution along with an injury substitution, if that were the case. I do believe Max Flick's night is done. He'll have to lumber his way off. Pittsburgh native out, and indeed, here comes Pearson, the goal scorer from Wednesday night.
Hey, Assad. Does it matter that they have him as number 7 on their list?
We'll see how this affects North Carolina's formational approach. Had come out in something of a 4-1-4-1. Pearson has dropped into that midfield.
You can't mess up a roster and put a player in. What's the problem? He's ineligible.
2-2 Richmond, plus 2 other games ongoing at the moment. Greenville and New England are 0-0. They're running concurrently with our game, as is Chattanooga-Toronto. That's the one that Omaha fans will want to follow. Boyce will send a ball in. It's cleared away by the substitute Pearson. Doyle filters it out to Viader, who marauds forward. Claims of handball. Viader keeps it in play. Ali Hadjic boomerangs one in. Conway was waiting for it. Dealt with by Fisher. Sent to safety momentarily. Pekka for Flores. Left it short for Frame, but the return ball a good one. Here's Flores. Just out of the reach of Jackson.
Tight. Yeah, bring through.
We mentioned tonight a win for Omaha. They have clinched a first-round bye. Here's Conway, 2 goals in this first half already. Look at that ball for Ali Hadjic, and he got it caught under his feet. You can hear he was onside, and all that was required was the finish.
We're gonna have about
The win tonight clinches that bye, which would mean the next goal would be achieving that #1 seed, which they can do. It would certainly help their cause if Chattanooga were to lose tonight. They entered tonight 1 point better than Chattanooga, but the Red Wolves trail Toronto approaching halftime 1-0. And that's a huge 4-point swing. If these results hold, we will have 3 added minutes after what has been a high-octane first half. Osumanu sees it out, and then he goes down, and he is in some considerable pain. Might have taken an accidental cleat to the back of the leg around the calf area as he was shielding his man. Yeah, right there. Unintentional, but still painful from Steedman. Here's Jackson. Still time in this first half for either side to grab one more quick one. Down goes Boyce. Free kick. And if that's not a yellow card, I'm not sure what is. What do you mean what? He just swiped at the ball. The most clear yellow card you'll see.
He's talking to his own team. He's talking to his teammates, not going for the head. He's talking to his own teammates.
Flores into the book. First card of this first half. This should be around the last action of the half, so Otieno will send one forward. It wasn't a good ball. Referee may let one more forward push happen. Hurst will leave it for Boyce. Boyce is in. It was a half cross, half shot. And it's ultimately comfortable for McGuire, and it ends the half. Well, hopefully you joined us from the beginning, because if you didn't, you missed at least one, but you probably saw a few more. We got 4 of them in that first half, 3 of which belong to the home side, Union Omaha, who lead it 3-1 at halftime at Werner Park. We've got plenty for you, including a recap of this past week's action. We'll have highlights later on as well. It's halftime, and Omaha are well on their way to a first round bye. We'll be back with more later.
extraordinary measure we take is for you and you, so you can get the expert care you need today at every one of our locations. Together, we're elevating our world-leading safety protocols, implementing new social distancing guidelines, and offering care anywhere with telehealth, all so you can continue being your extraordinary you.
Now it's time to thank these crews for coming out this evening. Carrier's Crew, Master Title Services, Retro Omaha Wolves FC, Carquad Crew, Council Bluffs Police Department, OPPD Latino Employee Resource Group, Roja FC 2007 Premier, the Real Soccer Club, and Pavilion Soccer Club. Thank you all for coming out for our match. We hope to see you all again soon. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs to build pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth, talent, and helping players transition to the USL senior teams. For more information, visit usl-academy.com.
My name's Mike Whaley. I'm a husband, father of three. The week before Christmas, it was a Sunday. My brother and I went for a walk. Got to the top of the hill where all of a sudden my hamstring started tightening up. And I couldn't walk anymore. Then I got out of the cell phone on and was able to call my son. Couldn't even make it to the street to get to my car. And I had to drive all the soccer field over to me to pick me up and put me in the car. It was cancer. And the cancer then moved to my lymph nodes, as well as my liver. And it was a scary time.
Werner Park, Union Omaha, and North Carolina happening on a Saturday night in League One. Joe Malfa has what happened over the past week here in the league. Let's send it over to him.
Rafiki said something about letting the past be the past of the Lion King, but we're going to look back before we look forward with some midweek highlights. It started at Gillette Stadium. Maybe the last game, maybe not. If it is, that's a great goal for Justin Rennicks here in the box. Just a little flick with the outside of the foot to make it 1-0. New England, his fourth of the season, 3 in the last month. I say maybe the last game here. I'll elaborate on that in a minute. Last regular season game for sure. It could see those doors open again at Gillette Stadium for Revs 2 this year. Some chances for Madison in this one, not enough. Perez slides this one through, and then it's just outside of the foot from Busan, puts it wide. All in all, not the best effort from Madison, a team fighting for their lives. New England, on the other hand, they bounced back from a loss against Toronto. They've won 4 of their last 5. That's their 7th 1-0 win of the season. Remarkable feat for Clint PA's squad. Now we go out to the desert. Dakota Barthen, not a big Peter Pearson fan because he tried to just take out his leg here. Studs up challenge, rightfully given a red card in the 27th minute. Gives up the captain's armband. Didn't seem to be too much argument. I think he knows what he did, and they will miss him in the next match as well. But revenge here for Pearson. First of the season on the header from the corner. Oh, by the way, revenge for Joshua Cohen on the assist against his former team. And as this game would go on, it went from bad to worse for Tucson. Noah Frankie fouls Somir Miscic in the box, and then Miscic would step up and take the ball himself. Another look here. Frankie got away without a card on this one. Could have been a red for Dog Show, and then Miscic puts it away. A surprising 2-0 win for North Carolina, impacting the playoff race despite not being in it. Shout out to North Carolina for not going down easily. John Bradford's squad building towards next year. John Perlman's squad now in a tighter fight than they imagined for this year. We take a look at those clinching scenarios, and there's a lot to unpack here. Deep breath, try to follow along. A lot of numbers on the screen. Right now, Greenville coming into the weekend in 3rd place. Of course, facing off against New England, 3rd and 4th beating each other. That game will give us some more clarity. Richmond also against Madison will give us some more clarity. Those 3 teams can possibly clinch a playoff spot tonight. There's a number of permutations that can make that happen. One caveat, Greenville and New England, only one of those 2, since they play each other, could clinch a spot tonight, not both. So again, we'll have more clarity tomorrow and into next week, but those 3 are the teams that could clinch tonight. Tucson, on the other hand, cannot, and they are in the fight of their lives right now because they're at 33, so is North Texas, and Toronto right behind at 32. Tormenta's in the picture. Tormenta's not really in the picture, sad to say that. They can only get to 36 with just 2 games remaining. But Toronto and North Texas, that is something right there. Toronto, again, having those last 2 games at home. We know how much of a home field advantage they've had all season long. North Texas, we saw last year that kick at the end of the season that almost got them into the playoffs, or pardon me, into the championship game at the very end. Madison, I don't want to count you out because the fighting Carl Craigs have really kept on coming whenever we thought they might fade away. But you have to go 4-0, and that is a daunting schedule. So things are really tight here still, but the hope fading for Tormenta and Madison. But everybody above that, who knows who makes it? Who knows who falls where? It could be anybody sliding into any seed. Still so much to be determined. You know what? We're going to determine that the rest of the night. Still plenty of action to come around USL League One tonight and tomorrow as well.
Thank you, Joe. More coming your way for this one, too. When we come back, we'll run through some news and notes from around the league, as well as look at what's up ahead in League One when we come back.
As you step onto the field, you step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
Hey, y'all. Can we change up the chores?
Sorry. It's up to the wheel, man.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, change the channel back.
Sorry, it's up to the wheel.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
Around it comes Fox. Solik, the back heel in! What a goal!
Luna is shot into the back goal.
Kiramoto has won it for OKC Energy FC. Oh, that is a brilliant goal from the substitute.
Today, as you step onto the field, you step into your purpose. You step strong. You step hard. Con toda la fuerza de mujer. You step up.
As we welcome you back to Werner Park, it's time to take a look at some news and notes from around the rest of League One. We've talked about the playoff picture a lot already, and we know that only North Carolina is eliminated. The 2 teams at the top, Omaha and Chattanooga, have clinched playoff spots, but there is so much left to be decided. Of course, for the Super League, Amanda Vandervoort is the first president in that league's history, and Azad Liadi was the player of the week for this past week for his hat trick with South Georgia. But the team of the week as a whole looks like this. There's Liadi, and I see 3 Union Omaha players. Damia Villader, is he on team of the week every week in this league? It's what it feels like. Devin Boyce, Greg Hurst, also pretty consistent members of this club. And I see Ray Ortiz on there as well. A couple of Chattanooga players getting in on the mix. That's what you'd expect from the best teams and the best players on the best teams. Taking a look at what's coming your way later. Got one more game tonight when we wrap up. Tucson, South Georgia. Just about all of these impact the playoff picture in some way, and I mean all of them. Omaha's got Madison on Wednesday, Richmond next weekend. North Carolina matchup next Saturday against South Georgia. Those are the only 2 games for South Georgia remaining, as we saw. So, plenty to come your way when we come back. We'll get you first half highlights, stats, and then we kick it off. 45 more minutes here at Werner Park. It is 3-1 our score line, and we have to show you how we got to that point before we start the second half. Let's take a look at our first half highlights. Omaha started early, and then later it became often, but 2 minutes in, 90 seconds in, Toby Otieno played onside. Look at that ball. Evan Conway, just stick your chest out. Good things happen. And that was the scoring for Omaha. That's the celebration. 1-0, okay, play on, North Carolina. They started to work themselves back into the game. They won this corner, and they paid it off. It was Aziel Jackson who sent it in, and Malik Mbai who finished it off with a nice little back heel flick that knotted the game at 1, and you thought, okay, game on, here we go. Well, 3 minutes later, here's the response. Greg Hurst, I really think he deserves an assist for this. I know it took a deflection, but Conway still meets it with his head. I'd give it to him. Should be a home call. 2-1, Omaha in the lead. And then not too long after, we were wondering who's going to get the next goal. That's going to be huge. Amir Ali Hadjic was the answer. Britton Fisher couldn't get his head to it. He tried to undercut it. He had a man in front of him, too. Ali Hadjic makes it 3-1. That is your score at the moment. And we don't have time to get you the on-screen statistics. I can read a few of them for you. Here's what you need to know. 9 total shots in that first half, just 2 for North Carolina. Those 2 shots for North Carolina came in succession. But let me ask you, what do you think the possession numbers are at home? 9 shots for Omaha. They've only had 44% of the ball. North Carolina is the one knocking it around. And when Omaha get the ball, they just go, and they go quick. That's where we're at right now. The 2 shots was the Jackson shot that led to the corner. It was deflected, and then Jackson's corner led to the Mbai goal. So North Carolina need to get something going offensively in this second half. It was a fairly tame first half as it related to fouls and cards. Just the 1 card shown in the first half to Nelson Flores. There was one substitution as well in the first half that we saw because Max Flick had to come off with what looked to be a hamstring injury. Peter Pearson in his place. Omaha still with all 5 substitutions at their disposal. Warner Park, a beautiful sight for soccer tonight. You can see the upper right-hand portion of your screen where the baseball field is normally located. But with baseball season coming to an end about a month and a half ago, look how well they've essentially copy-pasted that turf over the infield dirt. Very smooth, and that is a lot easier said than done as the officials make their way out for the start of the second half. I hear we're ready, and we are. So why not get this thing going? We'll keep an eye on the scores for you as well in the other League One games tonight. There are 3 other games going on concurrently with ours. But Omaha know exactly what they need to do. They know who they are. They know what they're looking for. 1 win gets them a first round bye. 6 of the 12 League One teams will make the playoffs, but Omaha will likely springboard their way into the semifinals. They are in black. North Carolina in white. Game on, second half.
Lock them in.
You can hear it, and you can probably also assume North Carolina needs to get pressure in this area of the pitch. If they can do that, might be able to get themselves back into the game with a goal, but they need to surround the ball as they're doing now and win it back just like that. And the other key element for them is that when they get the ball, they have to go quick. I mentioned the possession numbers and that they had a majority of the ball in the first half, but this, although it's safe to get your feet wet in the first 60 seconds, it won't be good enough on this pitch. You have to go quick, and that's evidenced just about every time Omaha gets the ball. You see what they do. They're so comfortable at home. Flores looking for frame. That ball did not stay in play. Conway tracks back. Doyle gives chase. Settled down by Doyle. Pickpocketed though by Fisher. Doyle leaves it for Villader. Ali Hadjic can't get around Simpson. Pekka heads it forward. Jackson has Simpson to his right. Jackson goes down. All ball, said the referee. Skiers. Hurst. That 2 was all ball. Jackson drops back. Got to be looking forward, North Carolina. Otieno has been very comfortable in the right back position tonight. That's not where he's normally situated. Otieno cut it out, but the touch was a little heavy, and here come North Carolina. Misplaced pass, though, looking for Frame. That's the idea, though. Get the ball and go. You got a fortunate bounce along the way.
It's a new guy, but that's still not an excuse.
The only reason right now I'm pretty frustrated about it is it's happened multiple times.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm fine. Like, it is what it is. It's on us, too. But it just shouldn't happen, you know?
Yeah.
How long?
Boys chasing.
Maybe in there.
Given away to Ali Hadjic. Hurst was asking for it. I don't think there was an angle for Ali Hadjic to deliver a pass. Now Skiers, down goes Hurst, tried to turn away from it. I don't think he was getting to that ball even if he stays on his feet. And that might have been why the referee didn't give the foul. Sort of the soccer equivalent of an uncatchable ball for pass interference.
I don't know if that was like feasible, but
Conway has 2 goals tonight. You wonder, will he be looking for his 3rd? Here he comes. Conway to the byline, cuts it back in, out by Mbai. It stays with Skiers. Boyce turns, Boyce shoots, and it's an excellent save from McGuire. He's so shifty. Devin Boyce. McGuire's made a couple of those saves tonight. That one was one of his best. And it results in an Omaha corner. Boyce swings it in. Knew who tried to tee it up. Ali Hadjic won't get there. Fans, since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL League One and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Otieno tried to win it back after losing it. Now here comes Simpson. Those long tree trunks commit the foul. Kingston, Jamaica native. You don't see many out on the pitch like Thorne Simpson. 6'3", and he likes to get forward. That's a dangerous effort that time by Mbai. Went right over Hurst. And that's why the foul was called.
Get on our spots here. Get on our spots.
Certainly have the right to go get the ball, but when the player is there like that, you can't jump over him like that. More danger looms. Boyce on the left, Villader on your right. Villader taps it to Boyce. Tried to work something off of the training ground, but Ali Hadjic missed it. Malone forward. It's a rare opportunity for him to send in a cross, and it's a good one. Mbai there to clear. Secondary clearance from Pearson. Doyle spears this one down the left side. Ali Hadjic gives chase. Well done by Martinez. Fisher, oh, he couldn't find frame. That was a good ball. I think he was put off by the fact that Otieno missed it. Toronto, by the way, have gotten a second goal. Hold that thought for a moment, though. Hurst cannot keep it in play. So it's 2-0 over Chattanooga Red Wolves, and that's great news for Omaha fans. Because you look at the live League One standings now, Omaha sit at 47 points in first place with Chattanooga on 43. Simpson got tripped up. Advantage being played. Jackson dispossessed. Ali Hadjic picks up the scraps. Pekka. Hadjic didn't know that Martinez was right behind him, and here's a chance for North Carolina to go fast, but again, the quality of that entry ball, not good enough. He had 2 or 3 options, did Nelson Martinez, and he couldn't pick the right one.
Good, Nelson, come on. Next one, Nelly, next one.
Just about the 90-minute mark, and Richmond score against Forward Madison. 88 minutes, and Richmond get the go-ahead goal. They lead at 3-2, and that could all but end Forward Madison's playoff hopes this season. Here comes Skiers. He'll fire. It's blocked away by McGuire. Hurst tries to keep it alive. Here's Ali Hadjic. Now Villader. Looking for Hurst. Pearson tries to release Jackson, who kept it in.
Keep coming forward, keep coming forward. Put something on, Dev. Put something on, Dev. 3v2, you gotta get in.
Villader.
You gotta get in.
Plenty of options. He'll head wide for Boyce. Always a good choice. Devin Boyce to the byline. It's deflected in. Evan Conway. Give him 3 tonight. Always in the right place at the right time. And this one's a runaway. 4-1. Devin Boyce with a pillowy first touch. took maybe one or two deflections along the way. McGuire looked like he just let that one go. I'm not sure. He looked like he could have gotten a hand to it. Conway's calling for it. On the cross, yeah, you've got to deal with that if you're Jake McGuire. And Evan Conway, like a predator, finds his prey and makes him pay. McGuire hard done by, and Conway has his hat trick. Not much that Omaha can complain about tonight. I'd love to see if they give Devin Boyce the assist, because it was a fairly identical play to the first half cross from Hurst, and ultimately it doesn't matter. Mainly because Omaha want more. There's not much more for them to achieve tonight, but they haven't scored 5 this season. Here is Boyce with so much confidence to number 5, Otieno, and it's McGuire to chest it down. They've got half an hour to do that. Fans, if you can't watch the match, you can turn on Sirius XM FC, channel 157. North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and USL All Access with Mike Watts and Devin Kerr. Every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can also hear live action from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the app. They gave Boyce the assist. Just about everybody getting involved tonight on the score sheet in some way. At 4 goals, strangely enough, Greg Hurst is not officially involved in any one of them. 3 goals from Conway, Ali Hadjic with his header. Assists from Doyle, Boyce, and Otieno. Been a challenging season at times for Conway. The man who scored the club's first ever home goal last season, first ever goal, period. Dealt with injury problems this season. Missed about 3 months of action before coming back in mid-August. Scored a hat trick earlier this year, did it in 71 minutes. That was against Tormenta on the road. Conway's wide open in the middle, and Ali Hadjic missed him. Oh, that's the second one that Ali Hadjic would love to have back. Conway could have had 4. But simply put, if you're looking for any proof that Evan Conway is a good thing in the Omaha lineup, his last 3 starts, tonight included, he has 7 goals. Otieno sniffs this one out. Conway kept it rolling, but it won't stay in play. They have gone final in Richmond, 3-2. Ford Madison take the L. That should just about do it for them. Too much ground and too many teams to make up. Richmond feeling a lot more comfortable now, sitting on 40 points, which is 7 more points at this point in time than 7th place Tucson. Corner for Omaha. I formation for Omaha at the top of the box. Villader goes low. We'll send it in from a different angle. Pearson heads it away confidently. Boyce with a rare misplaced pass, but he gets it back. He'll send it in towards Hurst. Out comes McGuire.
Do it. We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it? Yeah. Okay. Next opportunity. Okay.
Ali Hadjic looking for Hurst. Pekka. See, there's almost an unwillingness by North Carolina to venture into Omaha's half. They just haven't been comfortable once they cross that halfway line. Jackson does get his feet to this one. He's hounded by Villader. Pearson. Jackson again. And back they go.
Sub.
Substitutions coming. We'll see a 17-year-old take the pitch. Just signed Edu Galvan earlier this week. He replaces Ali Hadjic. He's an academy product, 17 years old. And he's going to get some extended run here, too. 25 minutes or so to showcase what he's got at the League One level. Frame is just trying to get himself involved in this half. He has had problems with Otieno, and those problems persist, and then he commits the foul. And I believe that yellow card is for what was said after the foul. Pretty easy to pick out frustration at times, especially when you're down 4-1. It's been a quiet night for Nuhu since that one North Carolina goal at the 15-minute mark. Just happy to stretch his legs. You can laud Omaha's attacking prowess in this game, but you have to acknowledge their defensive presence as well. Even though they don't have the clean sheet on the board, they've played a nearly perfect defensive game tonight. Here's the 17-year-old. Couple of North Carolina substitutions, Josh Cohen and Selmir Miscic. Aziel Jackson's night is done. He had the assist and the shot that led to the corner that led to the goal. Frame out as well. Cohen and Miscic in. Doyle getting forward. Tried to clip it back to Boyce. Pecco was there. Substitute Miscic. Pearson didn't see Conway on his blind side. Cohen, Pearson. Does go forward. Steedman, Martinez. Clipped away by Osumanu. Tapped forward by Otieno, who gets the return from Boyce. Hurst will get to this. Back for the man who won it, Boyce. Conway there, Mbai there first. Steedman saw a lane, picks out Miscic, who passes on Simpson, and then gives it away. Here's Adu. Conway sees Hurst. Here comes Hurst. Skiers, he'll line it up. It's blocked by Pearson. the defensive record speaks for itself. This team has conceded 7 fewer goals than the next closest team in the league. They've got a plus 18 goal differential, which is the reason why if they win tonight, they'll lock up a first-round bye, because they can be caught in terms of points. It can end in a tie, or at least it could if Chattanooga doesn't end up losing tonight. But goal differential would have been the third tiebreaker.
Boys, come here. Come here.
11.
Teams would have, in theory, been even on wins. And there's a player down, and the referee has picked out a serious injury, and so he will stop play.
He's going 5, I'm going 11.
And we're going to need medical assistance. We can get a look at who went down initially. That's Steedman. And it looked like he went down before he leapt into the air. At least that's where the injury occurred. Oh, it was the plant foot. Oh no, that's not good news. You hope he's all right. Yeah, he is in serious pain, and we can only hope that this injury is not as serious as it looks for Daniel Steedman.
I am. Thorn. I don't know what number.
Played sparingly for North Carolina this year. He's on loan from the championships Atlanta 2 side. While they tend to Steedman, we will see Evan Conway depart the pitch after his excellent performance tonight. A hat trick for Conway. He leaves as Robert Cristo and Luis Arriaga will come on for North Carolina. Austin Pancho and Reddy Souza for Omaha in for Conway and Otieno. Arriaga and Cristo substitutes for North Carolina. Well, that's a good sign to begin with. Steedman's on his feet. I would say that's a great sign. And he's able to walk off under his own power. That is really good news. Fortunately, we play on, and I believe Steedman's night is done as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he heads to the bench and then doesn't come back after an injury like that. It will be a Union Omaha corner. They've scored 4 goals on a couple of occasions this season. They don't have 5 yet. Here's Boyce, headed on, and a comfortable save in the end. Pancho is the one who got his head to it. See North Carolina trying to come forward and then playing back, and then that's obviously been the theme of this second half. I think that's in part because there's just not much available to them forward, and they don't really see anything that they can pick out. I mean, in fairness to them, just about every ball they've launched forward has been handled comfortably by the Omaha defense. Villader with that left foot. Martinez taking care of it. Cohen. .85 minutes on the clock. Chattanooga have gotten one back. It's 2-1. Really the only major issue, as Pancho is offside, the only major issue from an Omaha perspective would be if Chattanooga scored 2 in the final 5 minutes to grab all 3 points. Otherwise, it's a comfortable gain at the end of the night for Omaha. But 1 point does go a long way for Chattanooga because they're in danger of missing out on that first round bye. Greenville, same time frame, 85th minute, they lead New England Revolution 2 1-0. So if these results hold, Greenville will hold that thought. McGuire takes care of it. If those results hold, Greenville would find themselves only 2 points back of Chattanooga for that second seed. North Carolina trying to get something out of this second half, and it's just not happening. Those 3 points for the time being for Toronto, too, against Chattanooga goes a long way because 3 points gets them into the playoffs for the moment, leapfrogging both North Texas and Tucson for that 6th and final seed. Martinez. How about that from Edu? How about that from Edu? 17 years old. He looks like a pro. Couldn't keep it going. His speed won't get to that one, and then he was tripped in the end by Mbai. Saying, welcome to the league, young pup.
Huh?
Donnie?
Def.
Go ahead, Yoskar, go ahead! Go ahead, Yoskar! Yep, there it is. Okay.
Final 2 substitutions for Omaha. Devin Boyce's night is done, so too is Damia Villader. This is a short night for some of Omaha's best. Of course, Greg Hurst will stay on the pitch because he hasn't gotten his per se. But Nick Firmino on for Boyce, and Jake Kroll ends Villader's night. Here is Firmino, the substitute, finding another sub, Pancho. Works his way into the penalty area, clips the ball in, it falls for Firmino! He couldn't slide it home. Taken off the line by Flores. Omaha are denied their 5th. Should have scored. Jake Krull. Nicholas Firmino. Edu. Here's Pancho. Krull. Recycled to Firmino. That ball was out of play. Well, there's plenty left in the tank for this team, it appears, and Jay Mims' side might be peaking at the right time with the playoffs looming. Tough loss last weekend against Greenville. It was a hard-fought 1-0. Put up 4 in the previous 2 games. They've scored 4 again tonight. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Beat the bad teams, challenge the good. And I think it is fair to say North Carolina have not been at their best tonight. Here's Skiers. Options to his left and right. Skiers looking for Hurst. He can't keep it on his feet. He might be the only player frustrated tonight in a black jersey. He had one good chance. Wouldn't go so far to say as to call it a golden chance, but he scuffed it. Certainly he'll be happy with the result, though. USL's elite pre-professional platform, the USL Academy, allows clubs to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent and helping transition to their USL senior teams. For more information, visit usl-academy.com or watch number 30 in black, because he is a product. And he's showcasing his stuff here in the second half as well, looking pretty confident for a 17-year-old. Fisher. Forward it goes, headed away by Malone. Hasn't had much to do in this half. Souza gets it away. Pekka turns. Cohen snuffed out by Skiers. Hurst holds it up. Can he release Edu? Here he is. He's onside. Here's Edu. He looks for the cross. Firmino will have to track it down. Souza. Krull. Souza again. And Firmino is offside. love the fans who don't appreciate the 89th minute offside call. Their team is up 4-1. They want that fifth too. Cohen brings it down, looking towards Christo. Out comes Nuhu to claim. Just 3 more regular season matches tonight for Union Omaha before they venture towards the playoffs.
Wait off on them. Okay, thank you.
Forward Madison on Wednesday. Richmond next Saturday. Both of those games right here at Werner Park. And then they finish the season on the road against North Texas. Chattanooga only have 2 games left after tonight, and should these results hold, they'll be down 4 points, so they're going to need some help. Chattanooga's big matchup comes next. That's on the road against Greenville, who can snatch the 2 seed right from them. Picked up by Arriaga. Pekka looking for Christo again, who uses that big frame, but he's offside. So as we come to an end on this one, Greenville's gone final. Toronto and Chattanooga have just gone final, 2-1, Chattanooga fall. This is the last one of the early slate to head into the books. At this point, it's just cosmetic. What will the score read? Here's Skiers. Edu. Looking for Pancho. Story tonight, Evan Conway with his second hat trick in 3 starts. Did this one in under an hour. Arriaga feeds Miscic, looking for Christo. It falls for him, but he got to it late. Skiers will come forward. Got to reward the run of Edu, right? He and Pancho together, 3-on-3. Pancho. Firmino frustrated, he was asking for it, and that should bring an end to this contest. Cristo will get one more run at goal, but that sums up the night. Just wasn't happening for North Carolina tonight, and indeed, Omaha comfortably heading to the bye. They won't play a first-round playoff matchup. They'll go straight to the semifinals. With a 4-1 win, they clinch. When we come back, we'll get you the highlights from this one. Full time. We'll be back. Full time at Werner Park, and the fans are appreciative of what they saw tonight. A thumping of North Carolina, 4-1. It was close at one point. Let's show you how it happened. 4 of these 5 goals coming in the first half. The first one 90 seconds in. Sun was still shining on Werner Park, and Otieno's cross met the chest of Evan Conway. 1-0. And they just looked like they were going to play with a purpose tonight. Not that they don't on other nights, but you could just see it tonight. They were ready from the get-go. Credit, though, to North Carolina. They came back. They got one. Malik Mbai off of the corner. Ezekiel Jackson sent it in, and it was 1-1 in the 15th minute. And you thought, okay, here we go. Game on. North Carolina won midweek, 2-0. Maybe they've got another one in them. But then 3 minutes later, North Carolina failed at the back. Bit unlucky that time as Fisher's deflected clearance went right to Conway, who scores for the second time to make it 2-1. And this was the killer right here, the third goal. Emir Alihadzic, the local product. Good ball in from Doyle. Alihadzic goes low. And that was your score to halftime. This really just sealed it in the end. We could have showed you a number of near misses too, but this was the goal. Boyce's cross, Evan Conway, give him 3. Hat trick for Conway. I think his sum total of distance on his 3 goals was about 10 feet. Gotta reward his teammates as well. 21 shots. Flip those logos for me, because that we know how this one went, right? It was all Omaha. And North Carolina just couldn't get it going. That was the story of the night. Get you a reminder, too. Union Omaha will be facing off at home against Forward Madison Wednesday, October 20th. That's just a couple of days from now. 7 p.m. Can't make it to Werner Park. make sure you tune in 7 p.m. ESPN Plus right here. And you'll get all of that, even if you're not here. But that does it for us. We're signing off. Big final for Omaha tonight. We thank you for joining us. For our entire crew, I'm Spencer Siegel. We're going to see you next time. Final score, Union Omaha 4. Home side get a victory over North Carolina, who score 1. We'll catch you next time in the USL. Until then, have yourself a great night. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.